CelJaded here with more Total Extreme Wrestling 2020, this time for Tuesday, week 2 of March 2006 on the Shifting Sands mod. Another episode of SmackDown as we build towards WrestleMania 22. We are starting this episode with none other than Randy Orton, challenger for the World Heavyweight Championship. We know, of course, that he will be meeting Dave Batista for that title at WrestleMania. And Randy Orton is here at the top of the hour, and he has called out Shane McMahon, who's going to book him something on SmackDown if Orton has his way, because Orton wants to thank Shane for lending him his microphone last week. Go back and watch the previous episode of SmackDown if you missed that. And Orton here is demanding a match with Batista. Orton, last time we saw him, said that he was through playing games and he was going to settle this situation between him and Batista as soon as possible. So Shane McMahon in between a rock and a hard place here, and making the point to Orton that Batista and Randy Orton cannot go one-on-one until WrestleMania now. This is going to be the contracted match they're going to have set up. But Dave Batista is here, and he is more than happy to face Orton anytime, any place. He is not backing down from a challenge, whether it is WrestleMania or whether it is an episode of SmackDown. And Shane McMahon here saying that, okay, here's what he's going to do. Orton, you are going to tag with Eminem tonight, Johnny Nitro and Joey Mercury, the WWE Tag Team Champions, of course, and you will face Batista. And Batista, you need to go and get yourself some partners, because I'm going to leave this one up to you. You choose your partners. Randy and Eminem will be your opponents in the main event tonight, and then you two can tear each other apart and leave me out of it. So Shane McMahon here booking us a main event match between Randy Orton and Batista with some help involved as well. So Batista has got some hunting to do now and find himself some partners before the main event, but overall pretty good segments here to start off the show. So exactly what we like to see when SmackDown comes on the air. And speaking of what we like to see, it is William Regal up next, and he has hit the ring to say what he did last week was him going after the biggest dog in the yard. Of course, William Regal, in that dramatic close to the episode of SmackDown, pummeled Undertaker in a drive-by assault, pretty much, as Undertaker essentially crashed a motorbike into Taker. So Regal crashed a motorbike into Taker. So yeah, like we said, a very dramatic end to that show. But Regal said that the reason he did this was to get the respect that he is owed. So going after younger guys on the roster and stretching them out after matches is no longer enough here. He needs to aim his sights higher, and who better to get respect from than The Undertaker himself. So William Regal, some promo time here. So good stuff from him, as always. But we're not finished yet, because look who it is. Dave Taylor, old buddy of William Regal, a trainer from Developmental, of course, around this time. And Dave Taylor has come now to try and speak reason to William Regal, to try and get him to see reason. Like Dave Taylor says, look, the road you're going down, this isn't the way that you and I used to do business when we were younger. This isn't the way that we were taught how to do things. And facing The Undertaker is going to be a very bad move. William, so or maybe even calls him Darren, who knows. Depends how much of the fourth wall we're going to break down in this one, but it's quite clear here. We've got Dave Taylor, old friend of William Regal now, trying to talk some sense into the man, and William Regal here, of course, with his old buddy, just taking a moment to reminisce about how much good friends they are and how much good work Dave has been doing with the younger generation, etc. But it is Regal putting a hand on Taylor's shoulder here and says, even though we are friends, you shouldn't have come here. And that's when William Regal calls for a bell. And Dave Taylor is in the thick of it now, because he is in his gear. He's a trainer, of course. He kind of is training the guys in the back, and he is probably just come from a session not shortly before this. So he is dressed and he is ready to wrestle, and he just stepped into William Regal's yard, so to speak. So William Regal is calling for the bell, and it looks like we've got a match on our hands. So William Regal and his old pal, Dave Taylor, will be wrestling here to kick off SmackDown. All right, wow. And a pretty good match at that. So we gave these two guys the time to really tell a story here, with William Regal getting the win by submission with the Regal stretch. highly technical match, and William Regal on fire here as he has been lately. So really good stuff. High segment rating for this one, kind of higher than I expected, really, considering Dave's advancement in years here, and the fact that this is pretty much the first time he'll have been seen on WWE TV, at least on this save anyway. So yeah, really good start to the show here, and William Regal standing out as being good in the match as well, which is exactly what the match was kind of designed for in the first place. So that's exactly what we want. And then, speaking of what we want, more high segment ratings here, as footage of The Undertaker now plays on the big screen, and The Undertaker being filmed from some location, and mind games are kicking in. The classic Undertaker mind games have begun. So Regal, he's got the hold on Dave Taylor, the Regal stretch, he won't let go, officials calling for the bell, and that's when that footage plays on the main screen, and William Regal instantly releases the hold and starts looking very cautious now as this ominous footage is playing on the big screen, and Regal backs off, exits the ring, and kind of back up the rampway, looking out for any kind of ambush. None comes. But yeah, William Regal a little bit spooked here, and it would seem that, like we said, Undertaker is already spreading this climate of fear that he is known for, and maybe William Regal is about to get his lesson in respect after all. So really good opening to the show here for our first match. Did exceed my expectations a little bit, so well, that seems to have been the theme of this entire Regal program so far. So really good stuff, and look forward to seeing this one next time when we revisit it on SmackDown. Alright, so now we are with Melina, Nitro, and Mercury. I'll get her name right one day, I swear I will. But it is Eminem here reacting to the booking of the main event. Of course, Johnny Nitro and Joey Mercury inserted into a match alongside Randy Orton, so they are very happy about this, and kind of playing up to their gimmicking a bit, kind of getting some photo shoots, getting a photo shoot done ahead of that main event, and kind of giving their reaction, if you like. But it is Melina who checks out of this scene, actually flees the scene when she sees Aja Kong in the back, who kind of spots her and then starts seeking her down like a missile. So Melina here beating a hasty retreat in the face of the monster Aja Kong, who still has a bone to pick with young Miss Perez. So nice stuff here from Eminem. We will be seeing them later, of course. And we are back here with Dave Batista, our World Heavyweight Champion, and he is seen talking with Brian Kendrick and Paul London backstage. So Batista preparing himself for the main event. He needs to find two partners, so it looks like he's already canvassing the area for hot young tag teams, and Paul London, Brian Kendrick, of course, were successful the last time we saw them. They'll be going to WrestleMania in some capacity, we assume, for the unification match with the tag team titles. So Batista here talking with these youngsters, and yeah, maybe vetting some candidates for his partners later tonight. We'll have to wait and see what happens with that one. Now we're rejoining Stacy Keibler in a story that started last episode. So is Stacy Keibler here approaching Akira Hokuto once again, and it is Stacy complimenting Akira and offering her services as a WWE manager. And so Akira takes about 1 second to consider this very kind offer from Stacy Keibler before giving her the one-word answer of no. So Stacy Keibler here looking rather disappointed, was very keen, of course, to come back to WWE in the capacity of a manager and kind of and get behind a hot new talent. And unfortunately, Akira doesn't want anything to do with Stacy Keibler right now. So Stacy looking a bit disappointed by this, but you can bet that she's not going to give up that easy. So I'm sure we'll see her again later. But now we are with Kid Cash and Jamie Noble, who are arriving to the ringside here, where they are taking a seat because they are going to be watching a match next featuring the Mexicals. And we know that Kid Cash and Jamie Noble have had problems for months now with the Mexicals. They defeated them in unfair fashion at No Way Out, of course. And yeah, Shane McMahon's buddies here, getting nice and comfortable with the best seat in the house ahead of a match with the Mexicals, which we are going to get to right now. Alright, so now, in about that decent wrestling, but not much heat to be expected, it is Rey Mysterio alongside his Mexican buddies here, getting the win over various heels here who are just kind of spinning their wheels. So yeah, once again, the bookings will probably be pretty obvious for this one. Rey Mysterio, unfortunately, off his game on this one and still kind of outshines everyone else in the process. So probably not the highest segment rating because of that. But hey, decent wrestling. You take it when you can get it, and it's a short match at that. So we had one more paycheck here for Vito and a few of his buddies here as well, so he could lie down and give the pin to our Mexico babyfaces. So yeah, nice match overall, considering talent involved. Maybe if Rey Mysterio had kind of eaten his Weetabix this morning, then maybe we'd have had a slightly higher rating, but still very good where we are anyway. And it is Mysterio now handing a microphone to Shelly Martinez, whereupon the Mexicals each take turn on that mic to challenge Cash and Noble for WrestleMania. So I should have mentioned before, of course, if you'd noticed, I think it put it on the screen there, that Kid Cash tried to interfere in the match, and that went very wrong and kind of cost the heels the win there, really. But nonetheless, it is the Mexicals now kind of pointing at Cash and Noble at ringside and challenging them to that match at WrestleMania. So who knows what will come of that? But yes, the Mexicals are very desperate to get Cash and Noble in a fair fight, and if they will get their way or not is something we will probably learn another day now. But good stuff overall from this team. And now we are back with the World Heavyweight Champion once again, and another very good segment rating from Dave. Good stuff. And he is talking tag team strategy with Road Warrior Animal backstage. So we know that Batista needs two partners tonight, whether he's considering Animal for one of those or whether he is just going to one half of one of the greatest tag teams in history just for a little bit of advice. We're not sure. But the story here is that Batista is leaving nothing to chance, and he knows when he's going to step in the ring with Randy Orton to be prepared, because he's been caught out before. So Batista here doing his homework and really getting ready for this main event match coming up later in the program. And we are back now with Stacy Keibler, who brings another pitch for Akira Hokuto's consideration. So Stacy Keibler here, she's got a contract or an offer of some kind. She's placing on the table a nice big stack of paper, and Stacy Keibler making the case here that she would be perfectly suited to be Akira's manager. And Akira here, very stoic, very quiet, kind of observing all the motions that Stacy is going through here as she slams this impressive looking contract or whatever it is on the table in front of Akira. And Akira takes one look at this thing and tears it up in front of Stacy's face. So she tears up the contract, dumps it on the floor, and walks away. So Stacy Keibler here looking slightly perturbed at the fact that another attempt at currying Akira's favour has failed. So poor Stacy, it's not working out for her tonight. But overall, decent segment ratings here. We made sure that Stacy was scripted on this occasion after the disaster of a segment that we had last time. So that seems to have buoyed things and just prop things up a little bit nicer. So once Stacy kind of knocks the segment rating rust off, let's say, we'll be able to bring that back in and see if we can get some improv to really put these segments into the stratosphere. Well, that's the hope anyway. So good stuff here from Stacy and Akira. Look forward to seeing them again. And yes, here's a man I was looking forward to see again, strangely enough, because yes, he has redeemed himself after that really disappointing promo that JBL gave last week. We gave him another chance here, and he has made amends. So a good segment rating here from JBL, who's taking another opportunity to brag about his chances in the US Championship Tournament. We've had various wrestlers go through to the second round now, and JBL, his second round match will be coming up soon on another episode of SmackDown, but we're just taking advantage of JBL's very, very capable microphone skills here for a good segment rating to get some heat on this storyline. So good stuff here from JBL, much improved after last time, really good to see that. And now we are here with Mark Henry and Bobby Lashley, who are showcasing various tests of strength, with both men looking strong. So just something a little bit different here. A segment between these two men that does not involve brawling or putting each other through tables. They are essentially showing off their strength. So I'll leave this one up to your imagination, exactly what these two guys have planned, whether it's a bench press or something. But rather than competing in the ring or competing to see who can throw the sharpest right hand, this is a competition of strength. So obviously Mark Henry, that's definitely his wheelhouse, and Bobby Lashley we can make sure looks impressive, and a pretty good segment rating here as well. So very pleased with this one. No doubt the overness of both guys really contributes to that. So exactly what we want to see. Good news. And then we have got Shane McMahon here, who kind of crashes the party, so to speak, to say that he is impressed by this display, and he has heard both men and their requests, their demands for a rubber match to decide who the strongest man is between them. Remember, Bobby Lashley has a pin over Mark Henry. Mark Henry has a pin over Bobby Lashley. They want the rubber match to decide once and for all who the better man is. And now Shane McMahon is happy to announce that final match between the two will take place at WrestleMania. So huge news here. Another match added to the WrestleMania card. It will be Bobby Lashley and Mark Henry one more time to decide, hopefully, once and for all, who the strongest is between them. And next, we've got a video montage of Matt Hardy executing his intensive training regime. So Matt Hardy here talking about The Miz and Trinity, of course, and the problems he's been having with them. The Miz made the point that if Matt Hardy wants a rematch, then he needs to be a cruiserweight. So he needs to start training. Basically. And Miz did not expect Matt Hardy to take this advice to heart, and yet look at this montage with Matt Hardy working out in the trainer's room, on the gym machine, you name it. Matt Hardy is training very hard here ahead of his hopefully his desired match with The Miz. So Matt Hardy cutting weight and taking the advice of The Miz, apparently. He is taking this seriously because he is desperate to get The Miz back in the ring one way or the other, and it would appear that if he has to do it as part of a cruiserweight title match, then that's what he's going to do. So Matt Hardy here, good story here with Matt Hardy, cutting weight. If he can do it in time before WrestleMania, who knows? Maybe that title match will get made. So Matt Hardy here on a grueling schedule now to cut as much weight as he can, but will he make it in time is the question. And then we come back here with Trinity and The Miz, who've kind of just seen this montage as we have, and take a moment to poke some fun at Matt Hardy, saying that this guy has no chance of becoming a cruiserweight in time for WrestleMania. So, and that's when we kind of bleed the two scenes here together, where Melina is kind of back from being chased by Aja Kong. It looks like she finally lost her, and Melina's kind of shown up here with Trinity, because these two have a tag team match coming up next. So a nice tag team match to showcase members of our women's division, and Trinity and Melina here will be teaming up in the next match. All right, not bad. So even though we had a few warnings here for people being off their game, not the worst segment rating in the world. So it is Trinity here getting the pin in this tag match alongside Melina against our contracted Joshi wrestlers here, who are doing a great job training up some of our more inexperienced performers. So I thought we'd chuck Trinity in here to give her a chance to wrestle as well and kind of see how she does. Was the weak link on this occasion, unfortunately, was off her game. So, you know, that tends to happen every once in a while. But overall, not the worst segment in the world, and it does seem that Hamada and Omokai have great chemistry teaming together as well. I can't remember if I'd already learned that previously in a match. I'm assuming I did and just forgot, but either way, that seems to have propped this one up quite nicely. So yeah, good stuff here from Omokai and Hamada, who are, as I've said before, they're on a short contract, and the main reason that we are using them in these segments is just to get younger stars like Melina and maybe Trinity as well some experience with working with some more experienced and psychologically sound wrestlers like the Joshi stars here. So mission accomplished once again. And after the match, it is Aja Kong appearing at ringside. It's caught wind that Melina is in the ring there, and Aja Kong comes to ringside, still hunting Melina down, and Melina kind of beats another hasty retreat here, so she's out of here. And and then just a little bonus, we've got Michiko Omokai and Ayako Hamada, who kind of got cheap-shotted earlier by Trinity, who maybe used some unfair tactics there to get the win. And they just pummel Trinity a little bit just to get some heat back. So nice little segment here. Good stuff, as always, from Aja Kong. And you can bet that things are not going to be good. It's not going to be a good situation when she finally catches up with Melina. So good stuff. And now we're back with Eminem, who are meeting with Randy Orton backstage. So these three men will be teaming together in our main event, which is now imminent. But Orton slaps the taste out of their mouths. He slaps both men and kind of shoves his finger in their face and tells them, "Don't you dare screw this up for me." So Randy Orton is not playing around. He is, maybe Pie Face is a reporter while he's at it. Pie Face is a photographer here that are kind of hanging around Eminem, who knows. But Randy Orton is not here to play games. And if they are going to be his allies tonight, then he wants them focused because he wants a win. He wants Batista to lose this tag match. So Eminem have been warned here. Randy Orton is on a mission. He is not here to take photos. He's not here to pose for the fans. He is here to get the W, and that's all he cares about. So Randy Orton looking very focused now. And Dave Batista here has one last promo of his own that he cuts at Randy Orton's expense here. Just a little more time to kind of make this issue as personal as we can. And Batista in this interview is asked, has he chosen partners yet for the six-man tag, as the match is coming up next. So is he going to reveal who his tag team partners are? But before Batista can answer, look who it is. The World Tag Team Champions Big Show and Kane crossing over from Raw once again. They're interrupting to say that they've got Batista's back against Orton and Eminem tonight. So this is something that we have seen quite a lot in recent weeks in the tag division, guys jumping brands in the tag team divisions. And of course, it's part of the story that we're telling with the tag team division, of course, with Big Show and Kane, our World Tag Team Champions, Eminem, our WWE Tag Team Champions. We know that in some form or fashion, they are going to collide in a big unification match at WrestleMania. We'll just have to wait and see what happens with that. But for now, even though on a previous episode we kind of made the point that Raw superstars are not contracted to be on SmackDown and vice versa, it's wrestling logic. We can just do what we want with the bookers after all. So here it is. Batista is teaming up with Big Show and Kane against Johnny Nitro, Joey Mercury, and Randy Orton. That match is coming up next. All right, and what a good match it is. So yeah, great stuff here. Great heat and good wrestling. You can't ask for much more than that, can you? It's Randy Orton and Eminem getting the win over Batista and Big Show and Kane here when Randy Orton pins Big Show with the RKO. So Randy Orton made good on his threat, and he has done it. He has beaten Batista's team here. So even though it wasn't Batista getting pinned on this occasion, Randy Orton's got yet another win over the World Heavyweight Champion in a tag team match. So a really, really strong rating here for this one. Got some very popular talents in here to make that possible. A lot of overness contributing to that rating. So really good stuff that we like to see. And then to finish it off, another green segment, also good. And what have we got here? It's Orton, who's leaving now Eminem to get destroyed by the babyfaces post-match. So even though Eminem kind of stuck by Randy Orton and did what they asked him to do, they got the W. It was Randy Orton who gets the win over Big Show. And as the babyfaces kind of rally against this kind of defeat and kind of want them a piece of the heels, it is Randy Orton taking a powder and leaving Joey Mercury and Johnny Nitro to their own devices, and that quickly gets them destroyed when they have to face up against these three monsters in Kane, Big Show, and Batista. So the babyface is getting a little bit of heat back after the match here. Always good to see, and it is Batista now after Nitro and Mercury have been dealt with, threatening Randy Orton from the ring. A nice dramatic finger point we can bet as Randy Orton just kind of stands there on the ramp looking very pleased with himself. He got his win. That's all he cared about. The moment that match was over, his commitment to Eminem went by the wayside. And that is it, folks. That is it for SmackDown. And as we finish up, all right, 77. Pretty strong rating again, so not quite as high as the 80 that we got on a previous episode, but a pretty good performance nonetheless. So there it is, SmackDown for week 2 of March 2006. Next episode, when we come back, will be another episode of Monday Night Raw, of course, where we will be moving into week 3 of March and getting ever closer to WrestleMania. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. I will see you back here next time. Have a good time until then.